Hey VC, how's it going? Right, we're back in the pub. I'm John, 6-inch Pianist 319. Once again, I'm joined by my mate Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records.
John, good to be down the pub. Excellent. And we've got some good guests that I did say warn me if they turn up because I'm going to be absent. But, you've
Yeah,
thrown these two on me again.
I'll be honest with you, I thought this pair were barred, but anyway. So with us we've got Paul, Madam Sin. How you doing, Paul?
God bless you, Governor.
And Harris Pilton. How you doing? Heist Wise favourite, Harris Pilton. How you doing, Harris?
Thanks, John. Yeah, great. Yeah,
That name's going to stick. You do know that, don't you?
Yeah, but there's no relation to reality, sadly.
Right. Okay. So you know the drill. So we're in the pub. You've all got a quid, and for your quid, you get a couple of plays on the jukebox. So who's going to go first? Harris, do you want to go first?
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Oh, actually, no. I tell you what. I tell you what. I haven't done. I haven't asked you what you're drinking.
You haven't done the bevies, John.
You haven't done the
No.
bevies. Yeah. So what are you drinking, Harris?
I'm gone for Flow American Pale. No, American Pale Ale, 5.2%. I don't normally breach the 5%, but so it could go right up.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah. And what about you, Paul?
I'm drinking. This is a mixture of. It's Jamaican rum, Gagogano, and it's also got a juice. It's coconut, banana, and maybe something else.
Yeah, very you find the day in there. Very good. I'm impressed.
Yeah. It's well nutritious.
Yeah, very
Lovely.
Good. What about you, Headley?
Oh, well, I've got two beers. I've got one that's a low alcohol, one's an alcohol. So I'm going to do a bit of Russian roulette, find out which one's which.
Happy days.
Do a bit of a taste test. Although it's probably best to have the shit beer before the real beer, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I'm on the Mazzy again, so I'll forget.
To be fair, I have got some Mazzies kicking around somewhere.
Yeah. That actually is his, isn't it?
Yeah, it still is. Yeah, it still is. From last August,
Never got through customs in the end, but
yeah. Right then, Harris, what you got? What's your tune?
Well, John, last week I had to go to the doctors, and I said to the doctor, I can't stop singing "The Green Green Grass of Home." He said, "I think you got Tom Jones disease." I said, "Is it common?" He said, "It's not unusual."
Oh,
which segues beautifully into my pick, which is a 7-inch single for me on the Parrot label, which is the B side, which is "Looking Out My Window" by Tom Jones.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
And this one, the Parrot label, which I believe the Nova's Crusher was on. Paul, is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
I believe it was. Yeah. This is one thing I love about soul, and I know John, you're a fan, Paul, obviously, you're a big fan of soul, 7 inches, obscure stuff. You stop when you discover someone who maybe isn't in the soul genre necessarily, who comes up with a soul cracker. And here's one, the Bill Oddie. You know Bill Oddie from the Goodies?
Yeah.
He came up with the absolute. Have you ever heard? I Can't Get Through. Which is
I haven't heard that one.
He did it in '66. It's like one of those sort of uptown soul with like the pizzicato strings, like the.
That's fantastic. Because even Tony Blackman did a Northern Soul one, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He did, yeah.
Engelbert Humperdinck did Northern Soul ones under his real name, Jerry Dorsey.
I didn't know that. Did he really?
Yeah. If you look them up, they're well collectible.
Right. I love all that when it's someone you just don't expect and they toss it off. This is a B-side looking through my window or looking out my window.
Tom Jones did a couple of good soul ones. Yeah. He did some good dances. Yeah.
You can also buy this for about £1 anywhere. It's really simple. If this was some like Nathaniel Hornblower from Kentucky and it had sold 8 copies, this would be going for 25,000 quid now.
I know. You can get it for $1, can't you?
This is a dance floor destroyer. It's the B-side. It's the B-side to A Minute of Your Time, which you wouldn't give because it's shocking. But this side, Looking Out My Window, is an absolute. I've been in a club once where they dropped this. It was game over. It went off big style. It's a bit of a Wilson Pickett style.
That's the thing with Tom, isn't it? He did some absolute schlock.
He did,
and then he did these really quite decent, soul tunes, really.
He's got a great voice, though, isn't he? He's got a
great voice. The Welsh, I mean, they can sing, can't they? I mean, they can.
He has got one of the great voices. Him and Rod Stewart, I think. Rod Stewart, I think, is one of the great soul voices of the UK. But Tom Jones,
You're not gonna sell me on Rod Stewart. I'm sorry.
That.
I don't know. See, Rod, as you say, he's got a great voice, but it's just a really sort of underused talent. He just went off on a tangent and never came back, didn't he? You know, the early '70s records are great, but
they're amazing.
Well, he lost all the Faces fans as soon as he started doing "Do You Think I'm Sexy" and stuff like that, which he'd stolen, I think, off someone, hadn't he? I think he'd actually stolen that off someone.
Yeah, I think he might have. But
yeah.
But once he'd done that, all the Faces fans were off.
So Tom Jones, when when It's Not Unusual came out, he was getting a lot of play on American radio, and he played the Apollo Theatre in New York, in Harlem.
Oh, right.
And when he turned up on stage, the crowd were there, and they're like, "Who's this white bloke? We haven't come to this white bloke." And when he started singing, they realised that it was the guy that was on the record, because they thought he was black because of the vocal on the record. And you can see that, you know, that's we're so used to it being Tom Jones, we know who he is. But if you'd never seen him, then you could quite easily mistake him for being a black guy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the opposite of all the people that turned up to Charlie Rich concerts. Not Charlie Rich,
Charlie Pride.
Charlie Pride.
Charlie Pride. Yeah.
I never liked Charlie Pride, to be honest. I mean, bless him. I mean, you know, wish him well and all that. But I never heard a good record by Charlie Pride.
No, yeah. Well, I think the trouble is his career was around the time of the whole sort of pop country, and I think, you know, there's a lot of people that would perhaps be viewed a bit better had they have had the production that other people before them or after them had.
I mean, good luck to him. He made
he has got some good records. He has got some good records. I think the thing, I heard a really interesting interview with him, though. He was, when they were talking about issues of racism, he was really kind of, I'm not going to talk about that. In the same way that Dolly Parton ignores any questions about feminism, because she knows if I discuss this, which clearly she's a feminist, but if she says she's a feminist, that's going to be problematic.
You don't want to alienate your audience, because you're literally biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
that was really sad, though, when Charlie Pride was literally kind of, you could tell he was hurt by a lot of these things.
What that
over the years
did.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about Charlie Pride. I got around to country music, didn't I?
No, Charlie Pride, he made that song, didn't he? The one song of his that I do like is "Does My Ring Hurt Your Finger?" That always makes me laugh, that song does. But apart from that, yeah.
Is that it, was it the other way around, John?
Looking out my window, looking at the rain. Nothing left but sorrow, nothing left but pain. Why'd you go and leave me sad, alone and blue? Looking out my window, woman, trying to find you. Why did you leave me? Why did you grieve me? Looking out my window, what do I see? Nobody's crying half as bad as me. I don't think that they feel so alone and blue.
Right then, Paul, what you got?
Right. Let me grab one. Right. For mine, John, I'm going to have... I haven't shown this one before, have I? Leaving Here by Jimmy Hanna.
No.
Right. Now, that is the Eddie Holland track.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Leaving Here. Covered by the Byrds, you know, Ronnie Wood's Byrds, and then, of course, Motorhead. And then...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it was one of the Byrds were Lemmy's favourite group from the 60s. And he used to go and see them all the time. He was a bit of a groupie, really, when it came to the Byrds. There were two groups he used to go to, the Creation and the Byrds. And he loved those 3-decker 45s. And they do a version of it on that.
Right.
But I can't remember, is it Pearl Jam or one of those groups did it? I think it was Pearl Jam did a cover of this, because Jimmy Hanna was a Pacific Northwest group.
Oh, okay.
They were at the time of the Sonics and the Wailers, but Jimmy Hanna had a great big full band, like a soul band with saxes and all that.
Right.
And so they used to do it's blue-eyed soul, for want of a better word, you know. But it's from up there, and it's just one of the nice versions that doesn't get played. You know what I mean? And I love that track. Eddie Holland's a great guy. He was, as you know, John, he was a fantastic writer.
Yeah.
And he had stage fright, didn't he? He didn't like performing. Which is why he never pursued his own career. But obviously went on to write all those,
incredible songs. Yeah.
Incredible songs, and so many of them. I mean, him and his brother,
Yeah, but
the Holland Dozier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So you see, Head, it was two brothers,
right,
and another guy making up the trio. And if you look at Motown songs, you'll see their names just turn up all the time, don't you?
Well, it was the case that Berry Gordy wanted the best material for his big acts, and the main acts on the label were the Supremes and the Four Tops. And when you look at the Supremes records and the Four Tops records, all the big tunes were written by Dozier Holland.
Oh man,
he basically had the best songwriters for his top tier.
Definitely, and then you got Ashford Simpson, and I mean, honestly, the people writing on there were it was like brill building level, wasn't it?
It was,
in terms of quality.
Smokey Robinson,
but Berry Gordy could write a tune as well.
He could. He was brilliant, Berry Gordy. Really was.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I picked up a copy of Barrett Strong's Money yesterday on Anna Records.
On Anna, which was his missus, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, but that's one of his tunes.
I love it. Yeah. Was it on the gold one?
Yeah,
John. Yeah, that's a great 45, isn't it? You know what I mean? A classic that I never get tired of listening to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's still the best version. I mean, it's been covered by everybody, but that original is incredible. Yeah. Right, yeah.
I don't seem to be in accordance with most people when it comes to favourite Motown records, because I like Needle in a Haystack's like one of my favourite records of all time.
Velvets, it's amazing.
I mean, that to me is up there with all the Four Tops and the Temps and all that gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one of my favourite songs ever. I love that song so much. That's amazing.
It just makes me feel so happy.
Yeah,
you just want to get up and dance, don't you? You know, I mean,
that's the early Motown sound in general, isn't it?
Yeah,
it just makes you feel good.
It's uplifting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So where did you come across that version then, Paul?
Well, it's funny. I've always been into that sort of area because of the Sonics. When I got into the Sonics and the Wailers, but there's a couple of records from that area that I've always really liked, and it's that version of Leaving Here, and the other one is a very seminal record, John, an absolute link in the story of rock and roll. And that is actually a version of Louie Louie it's the version after Richard Berry but before the Kingsmen.
Okay.
And I'm gonna forget who it is now. Rockin' Robin, the guys.
Right.
And he's a Pacific Northwest one. If you listen to his version of Louie Louie, you'll see where the Kingsmen got it from. Because it's a big leap from the doo-wop of Richard Berry and the Pharaohs to the Kingsmen, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But they really are the missing link. And funnily enough, Harry, who collects all the Beatles stuff and is on the live streams all the time, you know the guy I mean?
I know Harry, yeah.
He had a copy of that because he's from that area. He had a copy of it and he sent it to John, Bit Bop Boom.
Oh, really?
Because he's not into 45s at all.
Right.
Wow.
And he had a copy in his garage and he just sent it to John.
That's nice.
I don't think John appreciates it as much as I would.
If you're watching, John, you know.
It's hard to get a clean copy. It really is.
Interesting with Louie Louie though, because as you say, it's quite a jump from the Richard Berry version to the Kingsmen. But once you get to the Kingsmen, that becomes the
then
version.
It's the garage standard.
Yeah. And that's the version that everybody does.
It's the two records that set the blueprint. It's that, and then it's Gloria by them.
Yeah.
And once you've got those two records, then you've got your absolute bedrock for every garage band that came out. You know, 65, 66. That was the absolute their staple, wasn't it? You know. But a bit of rock and roll history there.
Yeah, very good. I expect nothing less, Paul.
Well, you're not here for a pretty face, you know. It's the info.
tired of being misused. I've seen it all in a dream last night. Girls leaving this town cause we don't treat them right. The pitch and the train.
Right then, Headley. What you got?
Right, okay. I had, after the intelligent and educational response there from Paul, I know absolutely bugger all about this record. So, you know, it's a cover of Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road by the Loudon Wainwright III. You know, Thingamay Wainwright's dad. You know, and this is by a group called Funhouse, starring Phil Flowers. Now you might know Phil Flowers.
I do.
Sort of. He's one of those people that I think he was from Washington area.
Yeah.
And he had 40 years. I think he died when he was quite young, about 61. But he went from the end of the 50s through, you know, and he had 40 years of just grinding away, doing everything in that sort of, you know, going through the different eras of
rock
soul
and roll,
and R&B, rock and roll to begin with, then R&B, and then soul, and you know, and he was just doing everything. It's, you know, some of his stuff is sort of Northern Soul classics that people want, you know, and he even did he was well known for impressions, and he did an album of Nat King Cole with him doing Nat King Cole, but he also did people like Ray Charles and even Frank Sinatra on stage. And I suppose a bit like what's his name from the Rat Pack, Sammy Davis Jr. He did all that. He did all that, didn't he? He did all the
1 second. Hang on.
He did those impressions of all the famous singers. But you ask me how I get to know these songs. And this is funky, okay? So this is a funky tune. And you ask me where I hear about these tunes, and I generally just don't know. Because I forget. But this time I know exactly why I know this. Is because there's a guy called Andrew who I bought some records from on Discogs. I think he's called some bloke called Fuzz, I think, and he likes country funk. Yeah. And he watched one of my videos or some of my videos, and he contacted me and he said, "Hey, can I send you a compilation?" So he sent me a compilation that he'd done, which reminds me, this is about 5 years ago, and I still mean to do one for him. So if you're out there, Andrew, sorry. But yeah, so he did me a CD of sort of country funk oddities, rarities, and things. And this version of Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road by Funhouse and Phil Flowers was on it. So that's how I know this one. So that's the wonder of the VC. Yeah. And people going, "Hey, how about this tune?" So yeah.
But to be fair, if I saw a record called Dead Skunk on the side of the road, I would buy that record.
You would, wouldn't you?
You would do, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You know, it's funny, Head. I've actually got that LP with Phil Flowers on.
Oh, have you?
I was just looking for it. I can't find it, but it's Nat King Cole and Phil Flowers. And it's actually got a picture of Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole on the front,
and then you look in letters and it says Phil Flowers. Yeah. But he did a rock and roll record that's quite sought after called No Kissing at the Hop.
Right.
And, it's quite a sought after rock and roll tune.
Yeah, but I made it the first time I tried to buy it. I don't know if it's the B side. I think it is the B side of a track called "In Whose Eyes Are You Who You Want to Be." Can you see it there? Are You Who You Want to Be? And I originally bought this online, and it came, and I went, "Oh yeah, I want that," but I want the B side. And I got this one with that song, and then it's one of those ones with the same on the flip.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to get another one. So, John, I'll send you a copy of that one. You can have a bit of a funky tune. No dead skunks involved, though.
Oh, no. I want the dead skunk.
I think the first time I heard Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road, it was done by the Knitters, which is the sort of super group that was the Blasters and X. You know,
the Los Angeles super
group. Yeah, they did a version of it on an album, and I think that's where I first heard it. But yeah, Loudon Wainwright. But this is a funky version. It's good stuff.
You see, the great thing about that as well, that chap sent you a mixtape or a mix CD of a load of obscure country funk songs. And I should imagine there's a few on there that you didn't know.
Yeah, I think every single one. Everyone was new to me, and it's great because it just opens up a whole new way to waste money.
That's right, yeah. But Spotify ain't going to give you those tunes, is it?
No,
they don't. It's missing so much stuff. Spotify.
Yeah.
You've got to put the work in to discover that stuff, and well, you haven't. You sent the CD, but no
work
involved. No work whatsoever.
I have people curating the music and sending it to me.
That's a word that I really don't like.
Oh, sorry, it's a Mazzy word, isn't it? Sorry.
It is, yeah. I know. It's not just Mazzy.
No.
But the idea of a curated record shop leaves me cold.
Me too. Yeah. Horrifying.
Hang on.
I tell you what a record shop
John.
Look like. This is the definitive words, right? What a record shop should look like is Steptoe and Son's living room.
Yeah,
exactly. 100%.
And you don't know what's hiding under some dusty table somewhere. Hopefully, a stack of 45s that no one's seen before.
There was one in like that in Southampton called Weasels. Anyone in Southampton will know it. It's down St Mary Street, which is like the red lighty area, and they had a rarity section, which meant about 20 quid in the 80s, and they had it in a milk carton. But the rarity section milk carton was on top of the Cala gas heater.
Right. How marvellous. That's proper behaviour, isn't it?
And like as you just described, Paul, it just looked like Steptoe and Sons. It was run by two old mods who then turned into hippies in the 70s, and now it was the 80s, and they're just like offloading their record, and it was just everywhere. There was just chaos everywhere.
See, they're the places that I like. I won't even go into a record shop where it's just all new releases and. It just looks like what they sell on Amazon. That holds no interest to me whatsoever. But you go in those old second-hand places, and you just don't know what's in there.
No one was serving coffee in the 80s, mate. No one. That's a red flag, isn't it?
But there is a line, though. There is a line. So Rob's Records in Nottingham, but Headley just mentioned there, is absolute fucking chaos, isn't it?
I've seen
it's absolute fucking chaos. That's the only way you can describe it.
I've seen pictures of it. It's mental. That's a step too far.
It is.
Is it really?
He's basically got a shop and he's got all his records, and he's just literally piled them up. It's like you're making a bonfire of records. Pile them up. Excuse me, in the middle of the shop. It's mental.
I had to get out of there, John, didn't I? I was getting the fear. I said to John, I'm going to have to get out of here. This is causing me mental anguish.
It's basically record shop Jenga, because if you see a record halfway down, you're just worried the whole thing's going to come down.
Yeah. I think we've all done that one, haven't we?
Yeah.
Record shop Jenga.
My mate sent a photo when he was in that shop, and I just went, "Oh, that's a shame." He went, "No, that's the shop." I was like, "Oh, I thought there'd been like a collapse or something. I thought the shelves had gone."
Oh man, yeah. So if ever you find yourself in Nottingham, have a trip to Rob's Records.
Have a look through the window if you can break going.
Crossing the highway late last night. He should have looked left and he should have looked right. He didn't see the station wagon car. The skunk got scorched. Now there you are. Now you got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Stinging to high heaven. Take a whip on me. That ain't no rose. Roll up your windows and hold your nose. You don't have to look, you don't have to see. You can feel it in your all factory. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. You got your dead skunk.
Right. I've got a record.
Right, John, it's your choice. I keep forgetting you get a choice.
Yeah, I'll get a choice. Right, so I'm going to show you one of the great duets. Right, you think about all the great duets, Marvin and Tammy, Otis and Carla. But no, for me, probably my favourite duet, Bob and Marcia, Young, Gifted and Black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the best version of that record.
Of course
isn't
it is. It is, yeah.
It's perfect, that record.
It is a perfect 45. There's so much joy in that performance. There really is. Obviously, it's written by Nina Simone. By Weldon Irvine, I think. But I must admit, I'm not a big fan of her version. Obviously, it's a key.
I'm not.
It's a key record, a key song in the.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't have the joy that the Bob and Marcia has.
No, there's a genuine friendship, a connection between the two of them on this record. You can hear it. It's wonderful. And obviously,
he's great anyway, isn't he? God, he's such a good singer, man.
Well, yeah, and Marcia Griffiths as well.
I mean, they're both great. But that's just a perfect 45, that one.
It is. Yeah. It is in the beautiful Trojan bag as well. Just a fantastic label.
Really, it's a quality product, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You know, hopefully things like that will be in a museum one day.
Yeah,
because
isn't that what we're creating in our houses?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what is amazing is, you know, when I was a kid, I lived in just outside DC. You know, about 4 miles outside of DC, and Maryland's very black. You know, and there's a lot of really great black culture there. And now in DC, they have a black Smithsonian. And you can go in there, and they've got all that stuff in there. Motown.
Yeah, not for long, Paul. Not for long. They'll be getting rid of that.
Well, I mean, that really would be criminal if they did all that, you know, because that's really going backwards. Because you can go in there, and they've got like Bo Diddley's guitar and all stuff like that. It's fantastic. They got all the Motown gear. They got the blues, jazz. I mean, you name it. They got all the civil rights stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Stokely Carmichael to Fred Hampton. To Malcolm X. Yeah. I mean, it's all in there, all in this place. My daughter went in, and she was actually sending me messages from it, going, "Oh my God, Dad, Bo Diddley," and then like, "Oh my God, Marvin Gaye." You know?
Yeah.
Just going through it, you know. I mean, I thought this is wonderful because when I was there, it was just like, you know, all the stuff was overlooked, obviously. You know what I mean? But now it's all in its proper place. And the reggae that we had in England, that should be in a museum one day, I think, personally.
Yeah, definitely.
It's part of our culture, isn't it, John?
It is, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was a big hit. I mean, I'm assuming a top 5 single probably, you know, here in the UK.
Well, I remember it.
Yeah. Massive tune. When I remember
one of the first ska songs I heard, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I was at 11, and so that was years ago. And you know, if I'm on Spotify now, and I'm just like, what do I play? I often whack that on. But there's 2 versions, right? There's like one version with violins on and a version without violins. Am I right?
Yeah,
that's right. I know a lot of people.
I mean, in the day, that was on the radio non-stop. I mean, talk about a radio-friendly song.
Yeah,
they used to play that all the time. That and Blue Mink Melting Pot.
Yeah,
that was the other happy, we're all in it together sort of thing. You know.
But a lot of people don't like Trojan when they started adding the strings to
the
tune. So you get into the 70s and you got a lot of strings on those songs. I personally like them. I like that pop reggae sound. You know.
Yeah, it just depends what it is, John, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, some of them work really well. Others you think, oh, this is a bit schlocky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But no, I mean, I really enjoy most of the Trojan stuff, I must admit, because it's for 2, it's 2 things. It's one, it's because I love reggae, but 2, it's a lot of nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what glam has. You know, when I hear Sweet and Bowie and all that, it's a lot of sort of memories attached to it. Do you know what I mean? It's a visceral experience.
No, that's right. Yeah, but no, that's a record that's always stayed with me since I was a kid.
Yeah,
and, it's got quite a childlike quality to it. I mean, considering
very much so.
Considering the weight of the material, you know, when you hear Nina Simone's version, you know, you can really hear, you know, the subject matter and the weight of what it's about. Whereas this is quite childlike. It's almost like a nursery rhyme, the way that it's delivered.
It's almost like if you go a bit further in time, Althea and Donna.
Yeah.
Uptown Top Ranking, you know, with that's a very childlike sort of sound, isn't it? You know, and when that came out and she's talking about love and roots and all that, I thought, wow, this is brilliant, man. You know what I mean? Because never heard anything like that in the charts. You know what I mean? Like on Top of the Pops, you know.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, there you go. Bob and Marcia, Young, Gifted and Black. Right then, Harris.
Okay, so I have tried to tailor this to the pub a bit more. So you've had your Tom Jones. It's all gone off, big style. It's the end of the night. The normal pub characters are in there. The blokes in the luminous working jackets who've been in there all day. The circuit drinker that they have to do the refit around because he won't leave the pub. It's the last night, and you want that communal moment before you leave and have a massive punch up in the car park. And and I've gone for just one of my favourite, not almost like a guilty pleasure for me. It's the we're going to need a bigger jukebox by the way. It's the Hole in the Moon by the Waterboys, which I just love. It's just like a communal, arms around each other.
It is.
Do you know I don't even know that record?
Please be careful. But I love it. And I think I said last time I was in the pub, I'd started sort of raving and going to acid house do's and that. And this, funny enough, I do love, a bit like out of context soul singers, I do love an out of context rave tune, because this used to get played as the last track on a lot of sort of the ravey events I went to. Because although it's not a rave song, it has that sort of quality. It's almost got like a house kick drum thing going on, and it's got a lative hands in the air feel. So this used to get played at we used to get the Paradox and the Empire in Bognor, and this used to often get played last song of the night about 4 a.m, and then just flop out onto the beach after it. And I just think, and funny enough, I did a bit of research. Unlike me, this so it came out in '85, and I think it went to about number 25. Got reissued in '91, which is this copy. And I did look on Wiki, and it got reissued because it was getting so popular in dance clubs, in like raves and that. And it got to number 3 the second time round. And they recognised that a lot of it was getting played as last song of the night. And I just think it's brilliant. I just played it. I played it before coming on here, and it's just, I don't know. It's again, as you said, Paul, a lot of memories. Just
see, you can't detach from those memories, can you?
Yeah.
No, you can't. That's music, though, isn't it? That's what
He's getting very misty-eyed over there, aren't you, Harris? Look at him.
They're ingrained, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I'm a sucker for sentimental stuff anyway. I mean, oh, God. I'll sob like a baby. You know, if I'm sitting somewhere and like an old Elvis song comes on, I will start crying. you know, and my missus is all right because she's used to it. But you want to see like blokes when they're around you, and there's a grown man sobbing because there's an Elvis song on.
I tell you, we went for a drive today, me and Lou.
It's not pretty.
And we were listening to something on the radio, and somebody came on singing a lovely version of On Ilkley Moor Bar Tat, the famous Yorkshire song, and Louise lost it. It's lucky I was driving.
That's understandable.
She was like, "This is the loveliest thing I've ever heard."
I know what you mean. It's getting older. It's when you get older, I think.
Yeah.
There's a song by, I don't like Simon and Garfunkel, but do you know the song Two Friends by Simon and Garfunkel?
No, I don't know that one.
It's their biggest, it's the Bookends album.
Oh, it's on Bookends. Cool.
Yeah, and it's called Two Friends, and essentially it's about mortality.
Yeah.
And I literally can't listen to it.
Old friends. Old friends, that's it. I can't listen to it. I literally, I'm a complete hot mess about halfway through. I'm like,
I know what you mean. There's certain things I can't listen to these days because I'm just too vulnerable.
I know.
You know, I mean, there's Judy Garland songs that have me sobbing like a baby, and I just can't even enter it. You know what I mean? I just have to stop it. I just think I'm 61. I can't be going through all this nonsense.
The thing is, though, it's when it catches you unawares, when you're not expecting. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I went to a festival, local festival, and the Proclaimers were playing, right?
Yeah.
The Proclaimers, right? So I've been in the pub on the afternoon. We turned up late just to see the last 2 acts. And the Proclaimers come on. And halfway through the set, they do Sunshine on Leith. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like a baby through the whole thing.
Yeah. The music is very emotive, isn't it?
It is.
Man.
Often, you know, in my day, you wouldn't have this conversation with lads. Because you just weren't allowed to have these sort of vulnerable emotions as a man. When I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to cry.
Yeah.
Or you hit if you cried. So I had this incredible repressed childhood, you know what I mean? As soon as I got into adulthood, that's when it all started coming out, do you know what I mean? And it's amazing that nowadays we can have this sort of conversation about, you know, being a man and also being vulnerable, but having a feminine side to you. without it being some sort of weird hippie thing. It's becoming much more natural nowadays. Like my kids' generation, they're in their early 20s. They talk about everything. They wouldn't even have this conversation. Because it's just natural for them to talk about everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you understand, for guys like us, we've carried a lot of baggage, haven't we? It's just great to get rid of it, quite frankly. You know what I mean?
I don't know about you guys. I'm starting to well up here. I am, you know what I
mean? Well, hang on. Now is this a story that James Griffiths told about the whole of the moon? That apparently this was Mike Scott in New York.
Yeah.
With the young girl. She's like, where do you get your crazy ideas from for your songs? You go, I can do it about anything. And she goes, go on then. And he basically tosses off the whole of the moon right there in about 5 minutes.
Well, basically what happened was that she says to him...
The proper story, here we go.
No, it's right. It's what he says, right. She says to him, can you write me a song? Is songwriting easy? And of course, he wants to impress her, so he says, oh, yeah, really easy. She goes, well, can you write me a song now, please? And he's like, oh, fucking... So he looks at the sky and he sees the moon and he just comes up with the line... I saw the crescent, but you saw the whole of the moon. And he went away then after that, and he wrote the song. And for me, and I know it's quite an upbeat thing, whatever, but it's the perfect love song. If you listen to the lyrics, he's basically saying, I saw a rain dirty valley. You saw Brigadoon. He's basically saying everything I see and I do, what you do is magical in comparison. Sort of thing. It's a fantastic lyric.
I've never heard the lyrics. I've always been completely off my pickle by the time so I've just sort of reached for the lasers and then got up in the car park about 20 minutes later.
Crying your eyes out.
I pictured a rainbow. You held it in your hands. I had flashes. But you saw the
lyrics mean a lot to me. I don't know about you guys, but lyrics are just so important to me. I've got friends that they're not into lyrics. Totally. They're just into the music side of it. You know what I mean? I suppose a lot of jazzers are like that. But
I struggle with it. My hearing's not great, so I don't. So a lot of my wife takes the mickey out of me because quite often I'll be singing along to a song which I've heard a million times, and I've still got the words wrong. You know what I mean? So like the Purple Rain, and I don't know. It's a mile.
I think there are songs that I care about the lyrics, and I listen to the lyrics, and the folk stuff like this. That's kind of all about the lyrics, often.
But it is.
Whereas
folk is about lyrics, stuff,
it doesn't really matter.
I mean, folk music is about the lyrics, surely.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can do it without instruments, can't you?
Yeah, but country music, the lyrics, for a lot of them, they're just rearranged. The same stuff, kind of slightly rearranged. That's. I mean, we're going to come to that in a minute, but spoilers. But no, I know. I think I'm the same with you, John. A lot of stuff just passes me by.
John, whenever you get a quiz, get a refill. Is that
right?
Go on,
sort yourself out there, Paul. Go on.
It's that thing is that he always does this when I'm talking. Have you noticed this? He goes right. Headley's off. Right.
While he's at the bar, could he get some scratchings and some dry?
I could do with that.
Yeah,
do with that.
Peanuts that reveal a slightly more of Linda Lusardi every time. You take one of the nuts. They got to bring those back.
My sister used to be a photographer, and she
Linda Lusardi. I was like, whoa.
No. But she photographed food. So that was her thing. So for packaging, for advertising, stuff like that. So she knew all how to make ice cream look like ice cream, but when you're using mashed potato, that type of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how to, but she did she had the contract for the Big D peanuts. She didn't shoot Linda Lusardi. She shot the peanut.
Wow.
So the peanuts on the packet was shot by my sister.
It's my favourite thing. If I could buy anything, if I could find one of those on eBay, I would pay anything. Just because it's just so evokes my childhood, like taking around these bloody Labour clubs, and do you know what I mean?
We've talked about this before. So you want a packet of peanuts, and you get a bit of arm.
Yeah. no, that packet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the one that's the last one to go.
Yeah, you know it was coming up.
And then you go, she's wearing a bikini.
And the bloody wokes have ruined everything. The wokes.
Linda Lusardi was actually on the cover of one of the very first LPs I ever bought.
All right.
She was on the Top of the Pops album from 1984.
Yeah. Do you know what? That goes for a couple of quid.
I know, yeah. I haven't got it anymore. But yeah. So and it had a version of Prince's "Let's Go Crazy" on it. Dance in the Dark by the Boss.
That's a late one. That's a late one of those.
It's one of the last ones, yeah.
I would love to hear "Let's Go Crazy" on the Top of the Pops album.
Well, doesn't Richard McCook have the whole lot? He's got the full set of those.
So, yeah.
Richard McCook. Yeah, he strikes me as a guy that would have all of those. He likes his.
He's clearly just for the music. Just for the music.
Incidentally, there are a couple of those albums that go for over £100. And, so if you just find the Top of the Pops album, I think it's the best of 1975, something like that. If you find the record, a normal sleeve, it's your standard 50p. But if it's got the poster in it, which I think has got a calendar, it's worth because obviously all these things are stuck on the wall, it's worth it to...
Yeah. They're hard to get with those calendars, John.
Yeah. So
they don't turn up because everyone stuck them on the wall. They ended up in every garage in England.
Yeah,
and they weren't returned to the LP.
Sam Fox did one. She's on the Top of the Pops. That goes for about 30 quid.
Oh God, she was lovely, wasn't she, Sam? I do you know? I mean, I haven't really got a thing for blondes, but Sam Fox, my God, she was so lovely, wasn't she?
She's on one. She's on a Top of the Pops album.
Yeah,
I do remember being told we needed to go down the back of the bike sheds, and some kid had a load of cutouts from the son of Sam Fox. It was
she was
the days, Headley. Oh, I'll tell you what. Yeah.
She had such lovely bosoms, didn't she? And in the day when the bosoms were real, before these things, before they look like pumped up beach balls, don't they? These fake ones, they look terrible. And she was like all natural, such a lovely girl, all chirpy Cockney, wasn't she? I mean, just great. Fantastic.
Headley, I thought you were going to say that you showed a Coldplay album. I was going to say that is disgusting. Absolutely revolting.
Well, that is the way Coldplay records are sold, aren't they? So you go up to the counter and they say, "Meet me around the back."
Trying to bag with that.
Paul. So, what did you think of Sam Fox's pop career then, Paul? Were you a fan?
You know what? I loved it. I was a big fan. Yeah, I'm not a completist, but I got all the picture discs.
And on that note, who's up next? Paul, have you got a record? Not one of those records, though. I don't want to...
No, the funny thing is about Sam Fox is she had a massive career in the States. She really did. I think she probably had a bigger career in the States than she did over here,
And didn't she do Bollywood films as well?
Oh, I hope so.
I'm sure she did, yeah.
And now happily a lesbian, John.
I tell you what, between us, we know far too much about Sam Fox, don't we?
Yeah, I honestly thought. I mean, she brought joy into my heart. She really did.
This just takes me back to being. I've forgotten all about this. I'd shut this out. I used to have a ZX Spectrum computer, like 1994, and the only game I had two games. Right, one was Steve Davis Snooker, where all the balls. All the balls were square,
Brilliant.
I know the feeling.
And the other one was Sam Fox Strip Poker.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What would you have given to play strip poker with Sam Fox?
I used to start off with a game of snooker with Steve Davis, and then I'd attempt to beat Sam Fox at strip poker.
See, I had strip poker with Steve Davis, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he wasn't very interested.
Waving his cue around.
John, have you got this one?
Oh, what is it? Hang on. I can't. What's the tune? I can't see.
Baba Boom, the Jamaicans.
Oh, I haven't got it on that. Like, I haven't got it on Treasure Roll, but I've got Baba Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did someone else do Baba Boom? Because I'm sure
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because I don't want to Treasure Roll comp.
That's a tune, nice.
It was actually the festival song for that year, wasn't it?
Oh, is that right? Okay.
67, yeah. It was the Jamaica, that was the song for the festival. They had a song every year that would encapsulate it. And that was it, the Jamaicans, Baba Boom. It's one of my all-time favourites, rocksteady tunes. I mean, it's just
after this.
You know, I love all that gear, and that Rocksteady is the sort of one of my favourite music.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's the soulful side of reggae, isn't it? It's beautiful.
It is. It's because it was influenced by the Impressions mainly.
Yeah.
And you had the beautiful. If you just look at the Wailers, they modelled themselves on that, really, didn't they? You know, Peter Tosh doing the Curtis Mayfield. You know, and them all falling into place and singing the harmonies together. You know, it's just beautiful, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And there's not enough in the VC, is there?
No.
Does this music get overlooked? I honestly, I'm a bit sick of it, to be honest with you. You know, the fact that they go over the same old rock music.
I get it, Paul, but look at it from the point of view, how hard is it to find that record you've got in your hand there?
Oh yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
I grant you that, John.
Yeah. So you ain't going to get 10 people showing it in the VC, are you? You know? So
no, I don't. No, I don't expect them to, John. But what I expect is just not to keep showing the same old thing.
Everybody get ready. It's time to rock steady. It's Baba Boom time this year. Don't lose the beat now. Just dip your head now. It's Festival 5 this year. You hear the people sing boom, boom, Baba boom, 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 Festival boom, boom, Baba boom, 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 Festival boom, boom, Baba boom, 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 Festival boom.
What were the first black singers that you got into then as a kid?
Little Richard.
Little Richard, okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, people don't understand, John, is the importance of radio.
Yeah.
For like my generation, because we didn't have a lot of outside experiences. There wasn't a lot of exposure, do you know what I mean, to different things. But the radio was a constant.
Yeah.
And then the one guy that always gets a terrible ribbing and gets a terrible bad show is Tony Blackburn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and he used to play Motown all day, Harris.
He did, yeah.
You know, he gets a terrible.
Yeah.
John Peel used to slag him off and all that, but I tell you what, John Peel didn't have a clue about black music.
Yeah.
He used to play the real cod reggae. He obviously didn't understand it.
Yeah.
He used to play it because the punks liked it. He had no affinity for it at all, really.
No.
With Tony,
I love
Tony steeped in black music. Do you know what I mean? Really understood it, played all the Northern Soul.
Yeah.
First time I heard Smokey Robinson was Tony Blackburn.
Yeah.
So, I have a lot of time for Tony.
Yeah, I think on the back of that Motown Chartbusters volumes, he does a little liner notes.
Yes,
he does a little. There's a little signature in there, like they used to in the '60s. No, I think Tony Blackburn's a legend. I really.
Well, he was Radio Caroline to begin with, wasn't he? He was on both.
Yeah,
exactly that. And where people like John Peel were playing all the psychedelic stuff, Tony was playing all the Motown. He was playing all the Stax, Atlantic, all that gear, you know.
Yeah. So you mentioned it's interesting. You mentioned Little Richard though as being because I almost don't think as Little Richard as being a black singer because he's just so unique. He's so unique.
I know what you mean, John. He's almost like a universal being, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I think he transcends colour. Definitely, some people do. Hendrix did.
It's weird. My mum was born in '44, and she's from a really working class, really tough background. So she only had a few records, like 4. And the one she said the only one she's ever mentioned and she loved, so it should have been about that, Lonnie Donegan, Rock Island Line, and Little Richard. Yeah. And the 3 she said I had 4 records: Rock Island Line, Little Richard, and probably 2 more Little Richards. And she goes, it was amazing. She's like,
people don't realise how popular Little Richard was in England.
Yeah.
And he really was, you know, he was up there with Elvis. you know, in a way that he would never have been in America, you know.
His vocals are like nobody else, are they?
No, there's no one else like it.
No. As soon as you hear
Lemmy had the best take on it. Did you hear what Lemmy said about Little Richard's voice? He described it as fierce joy.
Yeah.
You can,
and I think that really sums it up.
Yeah,
it's like I remember when Johnny Cash died, he talked about him, and he said that you know, I had a lot of top on my voice. Johnny Cash had a lot of bottom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the great thing about those Johnny Cash records, they got Luther Perkins on the guitar, which is minimalism taken to its extreme, isn't it? I mean, you understand, Head, don't you?
Yeah.
The Luther Perkins approach to playing guitar.
Yeah.
There's no shredding going on there, mate.
He wasn't on the prison concerts, right? He'd gone by then. Luke.
No, I think he is still there. I think he played with them.
Isn't it?
I think he played with them for a long time, because it was the Tennessee 2 and then the Tennessee 3. And
he was on that. There's only one of those concerts I really like, and that's the first Folsom Prison, I think, one.
Yeah,
but that's
I prefer the Folsom Prison one to San Quentin. Yeah.
I think the Folsom Prison
it's also the harder one to pick up. I think it's because here the ITV showed the concert, documentary, and so they put out loads of the records. So you find it everywhere. But the Folsom Prison is not
shops.
Folsom Prison was the first one, though, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I love. That's the one.
Yeah, I think it was on the back of that it went out the success, and that was when the cameras went in for the kind of the next one.
Yeah, and he had that resurgence with A Boy Named Sue, didn't he? Around that time.
Well,
that's on San Quentin. Yeah,
that's the San Quentin one, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm not as keen on that.
No, which is what's his face, the guy from Doctor Hook, isn't it? Who wrote it?
Oh, really? Wow.
Is it Shel Silverstein?
Yeah, Shel Silverstein.
Yeah.
Who did all the stuff for Doctor Hook? Yeah.
So apparently that recording of A Boy Named Sue, they only knocked it together before they performed it. So you can actually hear it in the recording.
Yeah.
He sort of loses the rhythm halfway through.
Yeah.
And the rhythm of the vocal, and he gets it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can tell that he's quite unrehearsed and have just gone for it. The vibe is great, Yeah,
he's great, Johnny, isn't he? I used to go and see him at Wembley. They used to have Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee, and Carl Perkins. And it was just always like a really good show, you know what I mean? And Johnny was always brilliant, you know what I mean? He'd always have something irreverent to say, you know. Whereas Carl Perkins would be the good old boy, yes sir, no ma'am, and all that kind of stuff. Just go through his hits, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jerry Lee would just wind them up.
Yeah.
Or if it's a country crowd, he'd just do rock and roll.
He was a twat, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, he really, I think he was quite a nasty piece of work, Jerry Lee.
He was.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned Nick Kent in the past, right? Yeah. And Nick had to go and do an interview with Jerry back in the 80s in Memphis. And it was at the time that Rolling Stone had done an article where they insinuated that he killed 2 of his wives.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in the best of moods. And he said, and he picked him up from the airport, and Jerry Lee drive. Can you fucking imagine this? Poor old Nick, right? So he's in the motor. He's like riding shotgun with Jerry Lee. Jerry Lee's driving him back to the sort of ranch in Memphis or wherever. It wasn't Memphis. It was somewhere in Tennessee. And he reaches into the glove compartment and pulls out a ready loaded syringe, and he just whacks it straight into his stomach. And just presses the thing down and just chucks it back in the thing. And it was speed. And you're thinking, oh, man, and he's shooting that straight into his gut. You know what I mean? You just think, God, it's so degenerate, isn't it? You know what I mean? What way to live like that? You know what I mean? and even Nick was appalled.
I thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I'll tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars. I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table, dealing stud, sat a dirty, mangy dog that named me Sue.
Shall we have another record?
Go on. Yeah.
Well, this one's for the ladies. This one. We're getting towards the end of the night, and I think we're getting there. And I think a Tammy Wynette song, or Tammy Wynette.
That's a goodie.
The Ways to Love a Man from released in 1969. So it's just after she'd had a run of like 6 number ones, and I think this was her 6th. I think, and I'm not a huge fan, I have to say, of Tammy Wynette. A lot of the stuff in that countrypolitan kind of stuff is, not really my thing. But when it works, when it's perfect, with the perfect song and her perfect, incredible voice, I don't think there's anyone as soulful as her. I'm sorry, no. I don't think anyone is as soul and damaged and hurt. And so this song, it's written by Billy Sherrill, Jerry Sutton, Glenn Sutton, and Tammy Wynette. But apparently, what they would do is they'd write all these songs, and they play them to her, and they'd say, "What do you think?" And she'd go, "I don't know. There's this other one by someone else." And they're going, "Well, tell you what. Well, what do you think? Well, hang on. We'll put you on the writing." And suddenly she liked the sound of them a lot better when her name was on the right. I'm not sure about this one, but certainly. But her voice on this is just incredible, and she goes from like first gear to 5th gear straight through, and it's just like, wow, the voice comes through. And yeah, it's just beautiful. This one, it's just that incredible. Like I said, when countrypolitan works, when you've got all the strings and the stuff, and Billy Sherrill was great at producing that. He produced Stand By Your Man as well, and a lot of George Jones stuff that equally is great. But absolutely wonderful. And I think people misunderstand a lot of her songs about, of course, DIVORCE and I don't want to play.
That's their fault, mate.
Well, I think the thing is, it doesn't matter. You could put the most anti-feminist song into her mouth, and the way she sings it, of the hurt and the damage,
Are they anti-feminist songs, though, Headley? Are they anti-feminist songs, though?
No. But I'm not saying they are. I'm saying you could give her one.
Yeah, I think people have misinterpreted them.
But when you hear her voice and the hurt and the damage in her voice,
man,
you can't take. The words are not the same as what her voice is saying.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Tammy Wynette, she's so marvelous. I mean, my God.
Just realised I've shown
George
2 epic
Jones
records
all those years. Fuck's sake. I mean, George Jones. How many times did he bulldoze the house down? 3 times was it that they lived in? I mean, come on, man. And then he'd be off on the lawnmower to get
the boots, yeah.
She's a saint, that woman, honestly. Her book was fantastic.
Well, this was kind of before a lot of that shit hit the fan, really. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've
got a lot of time for Tammy.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I know obviously the big tune, Stand By Your Man, and Divorce, that sort of stuff, but I don't know much about her. I know she obviously George Jones, but
she's the real thing, John. Honestly, she's got such soul in her voice. It's like a lot of those country women. They've lived such hard lives. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Sort of lives that we just can't even imagine.
Yeah. But that's the problem. I mean, that's the problem with a lot of music now. All of the stuff that came through in the 60s. And think that, here, you think about all the sort of the rock bands and things. A lot of them were working class lads, and and the problem is the society now doesn't give those people the opportunity anymore. Or it's not seen as an outlet for them anymore because the middle class have taken it over.
Yeah,
that's true. But the thing is, the problem with country music, it's all about authenticity. And if you haven't got the authenticity, and people like Johnny Cash and Tammy Wynette and Dolly Parton and they all had an authenticity, which is what's required. Unfortunately, a lot of the people now are doing the same kind of material, but they don't have that authenticity.
They don't have the talent either, Headley. I don't.
No, they don't. No, of course they don't. And actually, the talent is making people believe you have the authenticity, whether you have it or don't.
I mean, do you listen to Sierra Ferrell?
Yes, I like her. Yeah, yes, good.
Yeah. I mean, she sings like those old school singers, doesn't she? I hear a lot of Kitty Wells and singers like that in her voice. I think she's going to make it quite big in America.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether she can retain doing the kind of music she's doing, or
I wonder, because I've heard a couple of the more commercial things that didn't really work for me.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago, I remember she was busking down in New Orleans. She just used to do videos from her phone.
Yeah.
And recently they've been giving her a real big push, and she was doing duets with John C. Reilly, the actor, with Step Brothers and that.
Yeah.
And they were doing duets together, and she's definitely getting a push.
Yeah.
She even did something with that guy with the tattoos all over his face. I can't remember.
Post Malone.
Yeah.
Look at me, Post Malone. Get that.
Tell you what, man.
Hey, get that.
And you think, wow, bloody hell, it's obviously someone's trying to give her the big hype at the moment, aren't they? You know what I mean?
I'm just impressed with Headley being hit with the kids there. Look
at that. Well, he did a country album, didn't he? Of course I know him.
Did he really? Wow,
yeah. He did last year. He did a country album.
Was it any good?
Not my thing. It's good if you like that type of style, and it's not my type of style. I wouldn't say it's not good. It's just not what I like. So.
There are so many ways to love a man, and so many things to understand. And if there ever comes a time you decide to change your mind, I'll need a way to hold you, and I can.
A bit of Blue-Eyed Soul. So this is Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Right.
I'm not a fan of all that Jersey Boys stuff. I'm really not.
No.
It leaves me cold. But this is on Mo West, and this is a track called "The Night."
That's great, John.
You know that.
This is weird.
That's a great one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, I mean, this is an absolute. Obviously, it's a Northern Soul dancer.
It's a classic, isn't it?
It's a classic. It really
is.
So,
it's amazing. Yeah.
And it's on the Mo West label as well. It only made records for a couple of years. It's a bit of an anomaly in the Motown catalogue. But I love this record. It came out, I think, originally in '72, total flop, and then it was reissued in the mid '70s. This is from '75, this copy, and this was on the back of the whole Northern Soul scene.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about this song is the rhythm section, that really tight bass line and drum line. Oh, man,
incredible.
So good.
It's
just a real dancer. He's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long way from Sherry, isn't it?
I can't cope with that. That doesn't do anything for me at all.
No, it gets on my tits, to be honest. That really squawking, that high-pitched squawking, a little goes a long way, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
It does, yeah.
The weird thing is, John, when I showed that Tom Jones, and I was talking about people you wouldn't expect to make a song, I was about to mention Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, The Night, because I was going to say it's one of my favourite ever tunes. I played it last night about 3 times.
Yeah.
And I just thought, this is so good. And
it's a killer tune.
For about 25 years. And I never get sick of that. It's just.
No, people who know it really love it, don't they? You know what I mean?
Just with
have you seen any footage of Frankie Valli recently?
Oh, my
on
word.
stage.
Oh,
have you seen them, Headley?
Yeah.
But where he looks like I don't know what's wrong with him. He looks like he's just in a sort of catatonic state.
Yeah, he's like being pushed out on stage and just.
Yeah, and he's got some sort of backing tape playing behind him. It's very sad. I know it's all like mafia controlled and all that, allegedly. I don't want any concrete boots. But he is definitely just being exploited, and he bless his heart. You know what I mean?
So the only other Frankie Valli song that I can listen to is Grease.
I love Grease.
I love that.
Isn't it amazing that he wrote those songs? Frankie Valli. You know.
Well, Grease is written.
Oh no, sorry, it's the Bee Gees wrote them.
Bee Gees, yeah.
It's Barry Gibb wrote them, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I mean that man can write a tune. Gary.
I have nightmares because of that tune. When I was at university, we got involved in some kind of singing performance thing, and we all had to. And it was like hits from the shows, and we all had to go and sing all these things from, I don't know, West Side Story and stuff like that. Anyway, one of the tunes was "Grease" from Grease, and we all had to go out on stage. And it was the moment when I realised that all my mates around me had not learned any of the lyrics.
Yeah. And you were
and it's just me
though.
belting out "Grease." It was just the most awful sound. It was terrible. Fear. It gives me the fear.
The Grease album's just genius, I think. I mean, I think it's just amazing. But Hopelessly Devoted to You is an absolute baller of a track.
It's great because it's nothing to do with the 50s.
I know. And
the Grease music is nothing to do with the 50s and everything to do with the 70s.
I know, it's fantastic. I think it's brilliant. Do you remember when Boomtown Rats got to number 1 on Top of the Pops and they dislodged that Grease song? And they thought they were being really edgy because they tore up a picture of, and I'm just thinking, even as a 9-year-old, I'm thinking, you absolute mug, you plastic punk idiots.
Bob Geldof, you know what I mean?
I'm not having it. I'm not.
He's about as cool as Jimmy Savile, isn't he?
I'm not having the Boomtown Rats over the Grease soundtrack.
Hang
no
on,
way.
That's the Bob you're talking about there, Paul.
Look what I found for you, lucky boys.
Look, he's got the monkey mobile and everything.
So that's what my auntie got me because she was the Beatles fan, right?
That's in better condition than the one I've got.
What my gran got me.
That's cool.
The monkey mobile. Right, now you're talking, lads. Hey?
It's funny because the Monkees still appeal now. So we're away last week in a caravan down in Devon, and I don't know what it was. My son was sitting there watching TV, ITV. They got the Monkees on like whatever time of the morning, and he's sitting there laughing along because it's funny, isn't it? You know, it's
funny. I still watch the Monkees now.
Yeah,
I love the Monkees. I love all the records. I love watching the series. It brings total joy into my life. Honestly, if there's one thing, there's a few things where I just hear that, here we come.
Yeah.
Walking down the street. You know, and I just immediately.
I still can't go onto a beach without wanting to do that run at the waves and run back.
It's so uplifting, isn't it? And those records, I mean, Neil Diamond and all those fantastic, writers.
Incredible writers,
Didn't they? I mean,
and people like
Don Kirshner was really good at putting stuff together. Yeah. You know, in those movies he did 5 Easy Pieces and all that.
Yeah.
They're so fantastic, man.
To my mate the other day who runs a little record shop, and I was saying he's a bit of a Beach Boys fan. Well, he is a massive fan. And I was saying, when I think back, I've listened to the Beach Boys and the Monkees way more times than the Beatles. But I'm talking way more time. And I don't know if it's because the Beatles, I know the songs so well, like the singles, so it wrecks the albums a bit. So I can't Revolver because Eleanor Rigby I knew as a 4-year-old, you know.
Yeah.
All the cover versions as well that have kind of clouded it.
Yeah. Like the Monkees and the Beach Boys, I can't even. There's no comparison to how many times I've played. One's up there, and the Beatles are way down there. It's really weird when I think back.
Well, also the Beatles were on everything. I mean, when I was a kid, you couldn't escape them. You
Yeah.
really couldn't. And I had an auntie who was mad for them. So it was Beatles this, Beatles that.
Yeah.
And when you're saturated with it, you tend to look for other stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, really, in the '60s, the records that I liked, I wasn't into the cult of personality. I just liked songs. I didn't know who they were by necessarily. But I like Herman's Hermit songs. I liked I'm into something good in that. And I loved
I love that.
No Milk Today.
There's a kind of hush. That's the one for me.
Oh, there's a kind of hush. I mean, that's such a beautiful record, John.
Yeah.
And then covered by the Carpenters.
Yeah.
And they do such a beautiful. I mean, because Karen Carpenter's one of my absolute
incredible voice.
A god in my pantheon. You know, I love Karen Carpenter. And that version of There's a Kind of Hush is just incredible, isn't it? You know, that's the one of the first records I remember from my childhood on the radio is No Milk Today. The Bottles Stand Forlorn, a Symbol of the Dawn. You know, and that was written by Graham Goldman, who was in 10cc.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Wow.
Who wrote those records for the Yardbirds and the Hollies. And he was, 16 when he wrote that or something?
Crazy, isn't it?
Amazing talent.
There's a kind of hush all over the world tonight. All over the world, you can hear the sound of lovers in love. You know what I mean? Just the two of us and nobody else in sight. There's nobody else, and I'm feeling good, just holding you tight. So listen very carefully, get closer now and you will see what I mean. It isn't a dream.
Although the one I really like from my childhood is Freddie and the Dreamers doing James Ray. Got to Make a Fool of Somebody.
I don't know.
Okay.
What's the one that George Harrison covered? I'm going to need lots of money and...
Got my mind set on you.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Headley.
Yeah.
So that's another James Ray tune. So there was this James Ray LP that came out in 62, 63. It didn't come out in England. Only came out in the States. But all the hip guys had it. George Harrison had it because his sister used to live in Pennsylvania or somewhere. I can't remember what it was. So when George Harrison went out to the States, before the Beatles did, he went to stay with his sister. They'd had a couple of number ones in England, but no one in America knew who he was. So when he went to visit his sister, they got him hooked up with like a local group and all this. So obviously there's these American guys who can look back and think, yeah, I was playing with George Harrison before he was on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But George had this album by James Ray. Where does that got my mind set? You know, obviously Freddie and the Dreamers, Freddie Garrity, he had it as well. It was one of these import albums that was sort of passed under the table. A bit like Richie Barrett, you know, some other guy, one of those sort of records. So that's how those versions turned up.
I didn't even know that was a cover until about 6 months ago. That's the first that George Harrison. I thought that was a George Harrison original.
Yeah.
I love it when you discover these things later in life.
Didn't have a clue. It's crazy.
It's great when you discover it, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I love the original, by the way. I love it now.
But that James Ray album, he's an interesting guy. It came out, 62, 60, and then he blew his brains out or something. Or he shot up a lethal smack dose or whatever it was. You know what it was like back then. But he topped himself or whatever it was really early on and wasn't able to promote his own records. So people covered him. The two big ones obviously being George Harrison and Freddie and the Dreamers. But I really remember that one from my childhood, that Got to Make a Fool of Somebody. And I still have it on I have a Spotify list that I play when I'm in the bath.
I do that.
It's on my kids' account, and it's got stuff on it like Cliff Richard and Bowie and all that.
We've all got a mental image of you there with your bottle of matey, squeezing it in the bath, you know.
I've got the Carpenters on there. ABBA.
Talking about a bit of Cliff.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
No.
Oh, that's
Where
nice,
do you
John.
pull these from?
I went into my local record
Have you got
shop.
a load of Cliff Richard records shoved up your arse that you just...
I went into my local record shop in a week, which Paul knows part of the collection from Music Is the Answer.
Oh, yeah.
So he's had thousands of rock and roll and stuff in whatever, and basically it's all out the back still. He's working his way through it gradually, and he's putting out boxes of stuff just for £1 each, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, that's why I had the Barrett Strong money on Anna.
You didn't get that for a knicker, did you, John?
Yeah, a quid. It's a lovely copy as well, right? Anyway, so I had a handful of records, and that was in the box as well. Cliff Sings, and it was like,
that's great rock and roll on that, John.
Is
that the one with apron strings
on
it?
What tunes are on it? What is it?
20 Flight Rock.
Is it Pointed Toe
Oh,
Shoes?
right.
Pointed Toe Shoes, Mean Woman Blues, I'm Walking. Well done, Paul. Yeah.
Now, let me tell you the Pointed Toe Shoes story.
Right.
That was Carl Perkins' attempt at follow-up to Blue Suede Shoes. And it obviously didn't hit as well. And it wasn't issued in this country. Came out in the States on Columbia in 1959, but wasn't issued in this country. And Cliff obviously had got hold of it, and because he did what's the Billy the Kid with Apron Strings. He obviously had good connections with American records, you know. And recently on Smashy and Nicey on Word in Your Ear. Do you watch that, John?
I do, yeah, I like it.
Is they're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
So Smashy and Nicey had Elkie Brooks on.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Elkie Brooks, her starting to showbiz, was doing Pointed Toe Shoes.
Right.
That's the record she used to do as her audition number because she was in love with Cliff. And that was the one that she chose. Elkie Brooks, the soul, soul-y singer, like Ikiki D. It's really funny, isn't it?
There's a brand new style going round, hypnotizing the cats in town. They're living in a walking dream, a pointed toes, and that's what I mean. Is that a pointed toes are coming back again? Pointed toes are coming back again. Well, everything's all right when I got 'em on my feet. I say pointed toes are back again. They're made from a high colored.
Very good.
I can't imagine Cliff Richard singing 20 Flight Rock.
No.
When I get to the top, I'm too tired to rock. Cliff Richard.
I'm too tired to rock. Oh, I get.
Oh no! Thank God he's too tired to rock.
It's no Eddie Cochran, but he's
he's not.
It's all right, it's passable.
Yeah, and Eddie Cochran was no Little Richard, was he? As much as I love Eddie Cochran, but he was a gentle soul, wasn't he? You know
I've always liked Eddie Cochran, though.
Oh, I do.
All the rock and rollers, Eddie Cochran.
Oh, he's great, and he was very talented. He played fantastic guitar.
Mm.
He used to do all the arrangements and everything. I mean, he was a guy that was going to be a big producer because I think he'd worked with Snuff Garrett and all those sort of people, hadn't he? I mean, you'll know who they are, Headley. But he was obviously a very talented guy, and he was part of that Los Angeles, would have been part of the Wrecking Crew later on and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got that story, obviously, the car crash that killed Eddie Cochran. The first police officer on the at the scene was Dave D out of Dave D Dozy Beaky McIntyre.
Crazy.
Yes.
And he learned to play the guitar because Eddie Cochran's guitar was in the car.
That's right.
Was taken to the police station.
That's it.
And over the next few weeks, he learned to play the guitar on Eddie Cochran's
Eddie Cochran's guitar.
That's crazy.
That's brilliant. That's amazing.
And bless his soul, because and the little Mark Bolan, when he was Mark Feld, the 13-year-old Mark Feld would follow Eddie around like a little groupie, wouldn't he? And carry his guitar to the car and that. So I mean. So Dave D had actually, and little Mark Bolan would be, can I help you, Eddie?
Wasn't that near Stonehenge, the car crash? Is that right?
Bath. Just outside Bath, wasn't it?
I thought it was Wiltshire. I don't know why I thought
Wiltshire. What's the...
Oh, maybe...
on the way to Bath, Harris. You'll know. It is Wiltshire.
Okay.
I can't think whereabouts though. And it was the guy that killed him, the driver. The Teds used to go up once a year and try and find him and give him a good kicking. And they'd be looking for the bloke that killed Eddie Cochran.
Oh,
and this is like old legends. You know what I mean?
Crazy. Crazy.
Rock and roll will kill you.
Anyone got any more records? Is that the wrong question to ask? What's this then?
This is from the Netherlands, The Outsiders. And this guy here, Wally Tax. This is 1965, John. So have a look at their Barnet.
Yeah.
Think of the Stones and the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
Now look at these Herberts. Right. You didn't want your kids going to see absolute degenerates like that. And they were from Amsterdam. And they were everything that the parents didn't want you to be into. Everything that suggests that dangerous look of theirs. Do you know what I mean? Now, go to the 80s when I used to go to Amsterdam and I used to collect all the stuff, the Outsiders, Q65 and all that stuff. And I used to go to Amsterdam. There's a place called the Zeedijk where you could go and buy heroin. And it was like these two basically streets down a canal. And it was just wild down there. I saw some absolutely wild stuff down there. And one time I went down a score down there. I saw Wally Tax in a really big argument with a dealer down there. And I thought, I looked at him, I thought, shall I go and say, like, I'm a big fan of the Outsiders. Hello, Wally. I thought, nah, I'll leave it. Do you know what I mean? And I used to go and stay in the hotel, the Prince Hendrik, where Chet Baker died. Wow. We did this last snowball and fell out the window. And they've got a plaque there where he hit the pavement. Oh. It's fantastic. I mean, honestly, 80s in Amsterdam was just a wild time. It really was.
Right. This is where I'm going to lose the audience now. This is where I'm going to lose the room because I know the three of you are not going to appreciate this in any way, shape, or form. Okay. But I've got to say, the reason why I want to say this is because over the last month, I've been particularly proud to be a Brummie.
Because of Ozzy.
I'll tell you what, mate. Honestly, so I'm not a Black Sabbath fan, am I? You know,
No.
But this last month has been incredible in Birmingham.
Yeah.
So,
it has been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah. So obviously, he performed the last show at Villa Park, home of Football Harris.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, at Villa Park on the 5th of July, and he died 2 weeks later. So the show itself, it sold out in no time at all. People from all over the world came to the last show, and he passed away two weeks later. And basically, because of that last show, there's murals of Black Sabbath and stuff around Birmingham, which is fantastic because, if you go to Liverpool, you can't avoid the Beatles. You go to Manchester, every fucker's talking about the Hacienda. Whereas the Brummies, we never talk about our musical heritage.
No.
And, basically, we invented heavy metal. I mean, I didn't, but, the Brummies did,
There isn't a statue of Roy Wood?
There should be. The bloody should be, Paul.
Why isn't there?
There should be.
Yeah.
But yes, and what's happened over the last few weeks is that we are talking about it and promoting it, and basically there's been people from all over the world come to to see where he's from. Obviously, when he died, they had a procession through Birmingham, funeral procession, and there were thousands of people on the street. I mean, I didn't realise that bloody popular. I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? There were thousands of people on the street there for Ozzy Osbourne. I had to wander down and see what was going on. Of course, you're going to do it, but it was incredible. But the thing that really impressed me was that obviously all the comments came out after he died and stuff, and all the fans mentioned whatever. But the thing that I found really impressive, and this is why I'm talking about it now, was that there were two sort of dedications to him. One by Acorns, which is a Birmingham Children's Hospice, and the other one is Birmingham Children's Hospital. And both came out and said, we're so thankful to Ozzy Osbourne for what he did for the city. He'd raised tens of millions of pounds for these charities. That last gig, I think he raised 190 million for local charities.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So, You know, so I mean, he was a bit of a clown. I mean, talking about this, I feel like I should bite the head off a bat and take a piss of the Alamo or something while I'm doing it. But you know, he genuinely did a lot of good. So I'm gonna, you know, say fair play to Ozzy.
No, it was crazy, wasn't it? It felt like Birmingham was so connected, but like you said, all the Midlands as well, you know. But yeah, you didn't necessarily sense that before, like you say, it's been played down, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely,
It's
definitely
weird.
played down.
But I'll tell you when it really hit me. You know your mate who runs the record shop.
Yeah.
Who clearly isn't a Black Sabbath fan.
No.
He was clearly really touched by the whole thing. And when he said, I watched the whole concert, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, he watched it online, but that's still quite a commitment to watch the whole damn day. I wouldn't have. You know, I'm not a Black Sabbath fan. And when he said that, I thought, Jesus, this really means a lot to these people. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
But, but there you go. So, Ozzy, that's... I was really quite impressed.
I thought it was quite sad, some of it, actually, to be honest. Don't you think, on a human level?
What do you mean, just his life, or?
Yeah, no, the reaction to him, you know, there was a lot of fondness for him, wasn't there?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And very much focused on the fact that he was a family man and sort of, you know, around Sharon and the kids and all that kind of thing, which isn't the sort of rock star image, is it? Do you know what I mean? A family man, do you know what I mean?
No, but I was just really impressed, Paul. I thought it was, I say it's not really my bag at all. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it was, but it was, I just thought it was quite impressive what he did right at the end. He obviously clearly knew that he was reaching the end and basically went away and raised a shitload of money for local charities.
You got anything, Harris?
No, I realised that I barely drink anymore, so I've had about 4 pints and I'm absolutely slaughtered, to be honest.
Do you know, I hardly drink these days. Do you know what I mean?
It's a nightmare.
I've just been told by the people at Carrier Beer who are like,
oh. It's frozen. Has he gone?
He's been cut off by the Silver Black Society.
Yeah, we lost him.
He's gone. There you go.
Right then,
I don't know what you're doing with that, John.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut the fuck out of it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Jesus.
There's a solid 5 minutes in there, definitely.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're gonna do with it. How do you do it?
Right. And on that note, another good night in the pub. Right. And I don't know how many records we played there, but we played quite a lot, didn't we? So anyway, next time.
Right, yeah. Bye. Bye.
See you later.